Hello guys, long time no see. Um, I'm a bit ill and I have a lot around on my table right now, but I still wanted to do this video because I want to share my opinion about the new DLC in LMU. And without further ado, let's jump quickly into the sim. If we go now just quickly onto the race weekend, because I thought I would just, share a bit my thoughts with you together and tell you what I think about this update, right? Just so you have an opinion which is based like on a couple of hours, of driving, and not like only 10-20 minutes or so. Because I did, I think, 23 setups or so for the new update, and I think I can, with all the time I've spent driving, I would say I can give you like a good explanation or review, let's say. And first of all, I have to say, as it's also part of the update, the fact that we have essentially all those different track layouts is such an amazing feature, because some tracks feel even like completely new tracks. So thanks for LMU for doing that, actually, because if you look here, for example, at where's Bahrain here, you have 4 layouts, right? You have the Endu layout, which looks completely different, the outer circuit, which is amazing, and even the paddock one. So it's like literally 3 or 4 different tracks you have then. And what better way to start, I would say, than starting to drive on the endurance circuit. And if we look at the GT3, we have now, of course, the Ford, Porsche, and the Aston. I will start quickly with the Aston because, in my opinion, at least for me, this car is just a bit boring to drive, it looks like that also in reality, right? It's just so stable, it's not really lively. But on the contrary, if you're a beginner, this might be the car for you, right? Because it's so super stable and it's really hard to lose the car. So for me personally, it's not my favorite, but I think for people starting out in LMU, this could be the car they should try or learn to drive, because most of the GT3 cars, I would say, need a bit more advanced control. And the Aston has such a nice stable platform that it even allows you to do like almost major mistakes without really punishing you, right? So as we head out now, what can I say? Like, as I said, car is super stable. You have a lot of understeer. And what I recommend is don't judge the setup as long as the tires are cold, because the balance will be completely different always in LMU, as you have no tire warmers, right? But here on the entry you see the car, especially even on cold tires, but some other cars tend to oversteer, it's so planted. So that's why I tell you, it can be the beginner car, if you want to start with LMU. And look, fun fact, I'm driving the first time this layout, so we will have a bit of a time adjusting. But the point I wanted to make is, as you see, the car is really stable. No oversteer at all. Of course the TC is a bit higher setup, right? But still, for a, let's say, newbie in LMU, this is the car I would drive, to be honest. You can still push it to its limits for sure, if you dial in a bit more oversteering. For example here, you see how stable it is under braking. If I would have braked even harder, I would just understeer. So essentially, what you could say, this car, if you overdrive it 99%, see? Yeah, bam, I braked too late and wanted to show it to you. 99% when you overdrive the car, you tend to get understeer. So this is just like a really good response for people. See, now, for example, I lost the car because we drove a bit slightly onto the curb. That's what I mean. That's when, you know, 1% you can still get oversteer. But that was also because I drove the wrong line and I braked a bit too much for turning. My point is, although I'm missing apexes, you don't really get punished for your mistakes in that car, which makes it so amazing for people who want to get into GT3 cars. And for example, if we just look now again for turn 1 here. Look at that. Here the understeer mid corner, you will never be able to lose the car. You have a bit of rotation on the throttle here, as you see. But nothing crazy, it's all manageable. And especially if you're new, you know, in this GT3 car racing, let's say, you will have a really good time adjusting to the speed, to the behavior with the Aston. Let's jump now quickly onto the, let's say, we go Mustang now, because I want to do the Porsche last. And the Mustang really has also a unique character, and that's the cool part. I think what LMU really brings over is those differences between how each car is driving, essentially. Because the Ford drives completely different than the S, and the what's it called? The Porsche is also on a completely different level. So this is why it's such a joy to drive those new cars. And if we just head out now, I'll adjust the view slightly. The best part is, you know, it's not even the update we got with the cars, we also had a bit of a tire model improvement. And I would say personally, after I did all the GT3 setups on Fuji, it's a massive improvement. Why? Because the tire has just a bit more room to play. And what this allows you to do is, for example, especially in the last second Fuji, you can really push and play with the car without losing the rear, as you have now this stability, if that makes sense. So I really recommend you guys to try it out, because Fuji is one of the best tracks to really feel the difference, you know. Oh, I got again caught off guard. Yeah, the last time I drove this track layout was F1 2010. So only 15 years back. But my point is, like, this new tire model allows you to push and play with the car more, and it still penalizes you if you slide too much, because then you just will, you know, wear your tires too quickly down. So I think they found a good compromise in this update between stability and still punishing, you know, overdriving. Back to the Ford now. We love the sound. It's amazing. Really. It's a joy to drive. So much fidelity into it, how the car reacts. And what I found during my, you know, time in this car, what I found out is, I would say it's the one which requires the most trail braking, because you really can't drop the brake and coast with this car. As soon as you coast, you will start to essentially understeer. So you need to always try to get some weight on the front till you reach the apex, and then as soon as you are at the apex, you need to apply the power, because the car is able to continue again to rotate on the throttle. So that's what makes it so unique in that regard. You really can rotate the car also on the throttle without sliding too much, which is not possible really to that level in the other cars. So this is why the Ford is so much fun to drive, because you can play around in the entry and the exit. For example, here, if you will see when we're braking off for turn 1. See how the car turns much more in when I release the brake. I brake later, but I still made the corner almost on the same level as with the Aston. And that was the thought for you. So let's quickly jump back into the menu and try the Porsche out. I have to say, in most sims so far, or in all sims so far I drove, I didn't really fall in love with the Porsche, I would say. But in LMU, for the first time, I enjoyed driving a Porsche because it feels natural. And I get the sensation that this car should be like that in real life, if that makes sense, you know. You have the stability on the entry. Oh, sorry, the stability on the exit. Yeah, I mean, I guess you, with my mistakes I'm doing while speaking, you see that I'm a bit ill. But back to the topic. The best part is you have this, you know, typical entry oversteer slightly with the Porsche where you need to try to lock the diff, but still, again, this crazy exit grip which helps you to, you know, pull away from everyone. And honestly, that's so much fun, because still, although the car is a bit oversteer on the entry, you still can trust it, you know. The grip doesn't get lost like from 0 to now, essentially, you know. So this is what makes so much fun for me to drive the Porsche, essentially. Sound, we don't need to say, it's amazing. Just hear that. It's crazy. And also, if we just go quickly into the third person, I like the movement so much in LMU, if you look. The way the car moves over the curbs, over the bumps. It just looks natural. Crazy. So, Porsche time again. You feel the responsiveness with the short wheelbase for sure too. And just the way you can play around also on the exit with the Porsche is so nice. Braking is also really rewarding in this car if you get it right. It's just a joy to drive, every single car. Also force feedback really. If I compare it to the other sims, yeah, some other sims have maybe slightly more, you know, info regarding Gs or whatever in the force feedback. But to be honest, I really love the LMU force feedback because I don't miss anything. I feel here the oversteer kicking in really early. You see it also in the steering. That's why I did know this camera here. Hello. And yeah, like here also, you know, I can play with the car. I feel the limit. Also here, look, I get the oversteer feeling. I feel when the rear starts to grip up again. I feel the road differences here loud and clear. You know, I have everything what I want essentially. You know. So that's a cool part. So let's try to throw the car into the corner slightly. See? And it's still stable. I was not quick at all, but just to get the point that you, with the stability we have right now, you can just play with the car. And I think this is what I want to essentially end the video on. And it's essentially with the fact that let's be happy about this update. It brings so much more fun into LMU with the new cars, with the new layouts, with the new tire model, and I'm looking forward to do some multi-class racing. And sorry also for the inactivity, but I'm so overloaded with other stuff that I just really had no time to do a video because I have already my next exam on Monday. So I'm learning for that, and then I also work and all the esports prep, and it's so much, and we all have only 24 hours, 7 times a day. So not more, not less. But still, I wanted to do this video to just give you my opinion about the new update. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And if you did, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and maybe subscribe even to the channel to support me. So I'll be ultra happy to see your comments in the description. Oh, not in the description, in the below the video. And yeah, this will be like mostly uncut because I just don't have the time to cut it essentially. But I was like, man, I still need to do a video about the update because I'm just so happy about it and I want to share it with you. And this channel is all about my passion. You know, I just want to share what I love, and I can say I love this, you know, DLC. So I'm super hyped for the future of LMU. I'm looking forward to our journey here on the sim, and yeah, I think the future is bright here. So again, thanks again for tuning in. A bit of a longer outro, but I want to say that, and to everyone who's stuck to the end, you're a legend, and I hope I see you in the next video or stream. So yeah, bye bye. See you soon.